Hello, and today we'll continue with Leigh's route. I'm standing in the middle of a hallway I've never seen before. I don't quite remember how I got here, but it feels right. It's a short hallway that leads to two doors, a bedroom and a bathroom. Despite the fact that I've never been in this house before, I know that's why they lead to. I know that's what they lead to. There's pictures on the wall, but it's hard to make anything out. The frame is perfectly intact, and there's nothing particularly wrong with the image, but it's murky. It's like something is blocking out the image in my head, or maybe there was never an image to begin with. The hallway quickly connects to what I can only assume is a living room. There's an old couch that leads it. There's an old couch that looks like it could be older than me, and a television from the start of the century. The house is deadly quiet, and the air feels old, like there hasn't been anyone living here for years. But despite how creepy everything feels, there's something else about it I can't quite place. There's a nostalgia to this place, but it's not mine. It's an alien warmth, a bittersweetness that I have no investment in. It's familiar and foreign at the same time. But I'm not able to stand there, stunned and taking everything in as my body starts walking through the house against my will. I'm not in control of myself. It's like I'm sleepwalking while I'm still awake. I enter the living room and immediately turn to walk up a pair of stairs that were just out of view. I try to take in more of the house surrounding me, but I can't. There's a crowd surrounding my thoughts like my head is filled up with cotton, and before I know it, I'm on the second floor walking down another hallway. There's two doors down here, too, but I can barely focus on one of them. My entire focus is consumed by the door close to me. A light sobbing can be heard from it, and it sounds familiar, but I can't quite place it. But this time I know that feeling is my own. This isn't something I'm being made to feel. I expected my body to keep walking, but it doesn't. It takes me a moment to realize I've gotten control back over my body. Did whatever was going on was did whatever was did whatever was going on wants me to come up here. I should just turn around and make a bolt for the front door. Get out of here while I still can. But sniffling joins the sobs. I know deep down I can't leave whoever's in there behind. They sound like they need help, and I can't. I can't leave someone who needs help. I can't. I should be more confused about everything that's happened, but it's hard to think straight. Being as cautious as I can, I take a few short steps towards the noise, testing out the floorboards with each step as if there'd be traps hidden under it. But nothing happens. Eventually, I'm in front of the door. There's a heavy weight in my chest that I can't tell if it's what I'm truly feeling or something I'm being made to feel. My hand reaches out, but I froze once a sound echoes through the hall, a deep growling from right behind me, sounding closer to a feral animal than a person. Then it gets louder. I jolt away and nearly fall off the couch that I'm lying on. There's a moment of confusion where I try to search for whatever danger I've been in before I realize where I am. I'm back in Leigh's apartment, sleeping on his couch from the blinding sun peeking through the window. It must be early in the morning. It's alright. It's just a bad dream. Leigh whispers into my ear as he presses his nose into the back of my head, his arms still wrapped around me tightly. That's the only reason I didn't topple onto the floor. We were still tangled up like we had been last night, and I could feel his warmth surrounding me. It's a welcome comfort to help soothe my racing heart. Yeah, I think so. Was there another dream like before? It's pretty clear what he's implying, but it doesn't help me figure out a solid answer to his question. I'm not sure. It felt like it, but it was sort and felt more like a regular dream. What was it about? It was silly. You don't have to worry about it. I've listened to more nightmares from Charlie than I can count. I can listen to yours. Not that I'm saying you're like her. We're long past that. To emphasize his point, his claws slowly wake through his fur, and it feels like delicious electricity. I involuntarily grind my ass back against him, forcing a growl from his lips. Yeah, I like that. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Don't be sorry, that was my fault. I shouldn't have gone there. Don't worry, I liked it. So will you tell me about the nightmare? Sure, it wasn't much, but I remember it pretty well. Dad listened to my story in silence. Wait, he listened to my story in silence, never interrupted me until I finished. When I mentioned the door, though, I could feel his body tense up and he pulled me tight against him. It's not hard to see why. It's the same crying door from our nightmare trip to the hospital. It's difficult to know what any of that means. That sounds like an awful dream. It wasn't too bad, just weird and uncomfortable. I've had much worse. So it's the crying, no, girl who's crying. Hmm. That didn't reassure him, though, as he digs his muzzle into the back of my mouth, his heart breathing, tickling me into a giggling fit. Do you think this means? It makes sense you have a nightmare about what happened at the library. I don't think it's anything to worry about. You sure? We'll bring it up to the others just in case. The others? Lily mentioned to me that she wanted to meet up tomorrow to see if things went well. Do you think things went well? He hesitates at that, and I can suddenly feel my heart in my throat. Was he regretting what we did last night? It was a pretty massive step, and his dad had just died. Oh God, wait, did I just take advantage of him while he was in a pretty vulnerable position? I hadn't meant to. Calm down, your heart's racing. Sorry, you don't have to keep apologizing. It's okay. I enjoyed last night too. I don't regret it. Don't worry about it. And by that, easy to read, it's not a bad thing. Are you doing okay after, you know? I'll deal with it. It's complicated. Leigh sells himself off the couch, keeping me steady as he nearly knocks me onto the floor. The absence of his warmth is immediately noticeable, and I almost asked him to come back. He's still wearing only his underwear, and I look away to give him some privacy. Even though we're closer now, there's still a level of respect I feel like I should give. It's not long until I hear him zipping up his pants, but I look back to still see him shirtless and making no effort to find one. I wanted to take you somewhere this morning. Do you think you could do that for me? This morning? It's just something I want to do. It's nothing serious. With me, it's personal, but I like the company. I'd love to help you, but are you sure you don't want your sister? Or are things bad between the two of you? She'll get over it. It's not because of that. She wouldn't like where we're going. Sorry, not to make it sound sad or scary. She just doesn't like it there. Are you going to keep being vague about it? Yes. Oh, I didn't expect you to agree. I told you it's nothing bad. I just don't want you checking out. I'm not going to chicken out. We'll see about that when we get there. Go take a shower while I make us some breakfast. We're on deadline. I drop myself off the couch and start to walk towards the bathroom before hesitating once I see the door to Charlie's room. I meet Lee's eyes, who is staring over at the door as well, but he keeps wearing his reassuring smile. We'll be fine. This isn't the first fight we've had, and it won't be the last. She's a menace. Okay, I'll go take a shower now. You don't need to announce it unless you wanted me to join you. Huh? I'm kidding. We don't have time for that. Oh, right. Maybe another time. I didn't mean to. No, it's fine. I like that. Now hurry up. Get in the shower. You can argue me later. The hot shower felt amazing. I hadn't realized just how grimy and sweaty I felt. I not only spent the whole night dancing and cuddled up to Leigh, I'm just glad he isn't too warm. I'm grateful for this short fur. Well, I'm grateful for his short fur. I can only imagine how much of a heater Lucas would be, and Oscar always feels like he's burning at 1,000 degrees. The spread waiting for me is better than anything I've ever seen, even more impressive than last time. Despite learning to cook for myself since middle school, I've never been great at it. I've only ever been able to make simple things, and my parents weren't much better. Usually they just order takeaways whenever they were home for dinner, and Marcus's meals were always simple. I'm taking the drawer as a good sign. It's amazing. Wait, do you sour already? I've learned how to take quick sours. You let grease stick in your fur for too long and it'll stain. Learned that one the hard way. I think you look good with a darker fur color. You should have seen me in high school. My fur was dyed black. Really? Yeah, fucked off my dad something fierce too. I'll show you pictures sometime, but you need to sit down and eat. Right, sorry. You don't have to keep apologizing. Bad habit. Look more comfortable now. With what? Leigh gestured down at his lack of clothes, and I finally realized that he's only standing there in his towel. I gotten so used to seeing him without a shirt on, nothing looked off. I guess I'm just more comfortable around you. It's subtle, but the way Leigh brightens at my comment fills my chest with a warm feeling that I've never really encountered before. I always knew I had a crush on him, but I didn't know I was this smitten. And the best part is, he's okay with it too. Everything just feels easy with us, but that also makes me notice something else too. You're not calling me kid anymore. It wasn't appropriate. It pissed you off. Thanks, I really mean it, but you don't need to stop yourself on my account. I know you don't mean anything bad. Plus, pet names can be cute. His silent composer breaks into a fit of laughter that only serves to make me laugh alongside him, even if I didn't understand what's so funny. You're adorable, alright? If it slips out, no harm. But I don't think I call someone I've slept next to kid unless you're my sister. We dealt with that boat already. Right. If you want me to call you something else, tell me. I'll try it out for you. I'll think about it. Good. Now sit down. I can't believe I let you distract me this much. What's wrong with me? His words sound harsh, but there's no bite to them. His mouth isn't helping his case. Not that I'm complaining. After last night, this is everything I could have wanted. Breakfast was just as amazing as it looked. I don't know if I want Leigh to teach me to cook or just have him cook for me forever. But it didn't last long enough, and we were out the door the moment both of us finished. I asked if he was sure about not inviting Charlie, but he sounded pretty confident in his decision. This only made me more nervous about where we were going. He said it wasn't anything bad, but his acting doesn't give much reassurance. We've been walking for nearly half an hour in silence. Not that either of us have made an effort to break it. There's a lot on both of our minds right now. Yesterday was a pretty big moment for us, both together and separately, but it was a comfortable silence. We're here. Oh, I look at the building in front of us, and a wave of confusion runs through me, but only for a moment before I suddenly understand why we didn't want Charlie to come. Oh, written on a large plaque above the door are the words Everwater Community Church, and all the people walking through the doors through the front doors let me know there would be a service soon. My family weren't too religious, but whenever Marcus and I would stay with our aunt, she'd always take us to church on Sunday and sometimes a Bible reading on Tuesday too. My 5-year-old brain found them very boring, and I haven't grown in appreciation for it as I got older. Our aunt stopped forcing me to go once I became a teenager, which was a relief. Not a fan. Not really. Is that okay? Don't worry, we won't be staying for long. Service won't start for another hour. I expected Leigh to lead us in, but he just stands there, staring up at the building, lost in thought. I always hated this place. Why are we here then? He never gives me an answer and walks to the building, leaving me to scramble after him. The entrance leads to a small foyer that looks like a waiting room. There's numerous chairs lining the walls, and there are screens hung up on the walls. Everything looks well kept. Even the red carpets look vibrant and plush. You can sit out here and watch the sermon from those screens. I never really understood what this room was for, but Mom would take Charlie out here whenever she was crying, so maybe it was for that. It looks nice. You don't have to act like you're interested. I don't care for this place much either. First time I've been here in a decade. I try to take a step forward, but Leigh stops me, gesturing down to a bucket and a sponge sitting next to the door that I didn't notice before. What's that? It's for cleaning our feet, so we don't bring impurities in with us. Oh, that makes sense, I think. It's just so we don't dirty the carpet. Who knows what people have been walking through. We quickly clean up and head further inside, the carpet feeling just as luscious as it looked. I never felt anything this soft before. Maybe they're onto something. I follow closely behind Leigh as we enter the main hall of the building. It's larger than I expected. I didn't take in how big the building looked from the outside, but I didn't expect this. This room alone is the length of half of a football field, maybe even longer than that. The amount of chairs in this room reminds me of an assembly back in high school. I assume that since it was a community church that it wouldn't be too grand, but this whole room looks like something out of a movie. There's decorations covering the room, and even a stained glass piece high on the wall behind the altar, simmering as the morning sun shines through it. Whoa. Pretty, ain't it? That's an understatement. It's a little empty though. With how impressive everything is, I thought there'd be more people around, but there's barely 20 seats filled, nowhere near enough to fill this place. People don't tend to show up for another 30 minutes. The only ones who show up now are the fanatics, or because they're here for another reason, like us. We're not here for service? No. I don't think I could stand it any more than I could before. Plus, I'm already tempting fate by being here. I'm pretty sure I've sinned enough to make the preacher faint. Why are we here then? I just felt like I needed to come here today. He doesn't elaborate further and sits at the end of the nearest row. Right at the very back, right at the very back, I take the one next to him and we plunge back into silence. I take in the other people at the church, wondering why they're here this early. There's a family of 5 sitting together near the front and another family of 3 just a few seats back from them. But the ones who truly catch my eye are the 3 people sitting alone, 2 middle-aged men and 1 teenage girl. I wonder what their stories are. We used to come to this church every Sunday. Mom always encouraged it, but she never forced us to come. She made us want to go. Of course, we were just kids, so we were very easy to please. She always take us out for ice cream afterwards, so we always came. Once he died, we stopped coming. I don't think I've ever stepped foot in here again since then. I considered coming, but I never did. Why did you decide to come now? Now that Dad's dead, It feels appropriate. Plus, I have you with me. I don't think I'd want to come here alone. Charlie would have come if you asked, sure, but she hated and complained the whole time. She doesn't even have memories from back then, and she still hates the place. So why are we here? Because I thought I'd feel closer to her here. I wonder if Dad's going to hell for being an awful man, being forgiven and going to heaven. Maybe reuniting with Mom might make him less shitty. Do you want that? I don't know. Leigh closes his eyes and places a hand over his stomach right where his scar would be underneath his clothes. Dad was an awful man, more than you might think. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. I want to. You deserve to know this, and I deserve to talk about it. And you're sure I know there's things I don't want to talk about. You're cute if you think I can't handle this. Trust me, I've been through worse than some bad memories. That doesn't mean you have to put yourself through it. Now, don't you start worrying about me, too. I already have Charlie for that. But you worry about me. Yeah, because that's my job. I'm the older brother, take care. You're the younger brother, so let me take care of you. Don't say it like that. Why not? I see, forget about that. And please don't tell Charlie. Why do I get the feeling that she'll find out regardless? You're probably right. She always does. Anyway, back on topic. Right, your dad, what did he do? You remember my scar? Of course, how could I forget? That was from him. Well, you already guessed that, right? I had a feeling. I was 17 years old, and I got home late that night. Work must have pissed him off, or maybe he was just an asshole like usual because he was on my ass the moment I walked in. I'd been at a club. It looked like I usually do. We started yelling at each other. I'd like to say it started civil, but that would be a lie. We got in each other's face, and he shoved me away. I fell back into the fireplace, and the fire poker went right through my side. Oh my God. I wanted to say it wasn't as bad as it sounds, but it was. Tore right through my side. I'm just lucky Charlie didn't see it. He had to take me to the hospital as an unfortunate incident. Was that when you got stuck in the hospital? What? Oh no, that was for my leg. My knee got shattered and I had to go through a lot of physical therapy to walk again. Was that also your dad? He doesn't answer, but there isn't any need. The way his eyes sift to the floor and his hand covers his scar again tells me everything I need to know. Why? Why? How? But my confusion halts as Leigh sighs, suddenly looking nowhere near as alright with his conversation as he claimed. I'm sorry, I didn't mean. No, it's okay. I thought it would have gotten worse. No, it's okay. I thought it would have gotten over this, but I guess not. And that's okay. This is a massive thing, Leigh. I've seen you limp. It's been years. I've gotten used to it. Barely notice it anymore. What happened? The scar had been an accident. This wasn't. My blood runs cold and I can feel it chilling my bones to the core. The thought that someone would enter. My blood runs cold and I can feel it chilling my bones to the core. The thought that someone would actively do that to someone to permanently damage them. It's inhumane. I made a stupid choice, a petty one that pissed him off. Do you regret it? No, I don't. Well, not for this anyway. Honestly, it wasn't worth the hassle. My dad's a construction worker. Been one for nearly 30 years, for what I remember. I wanted to get back at him for something. I don't even remember what. I found out one of his coworkers might not be as straight as he claimed to be, so I decided to make a bad life choice that I could revel in and forget if it happened. Oh, turns out people talk. No shit. I know, but dumbass. I know, but no shit. I know the dumbass me thought. I know the dumbass me thought I could just fuck this guy and get away with it. I never gave him my name or anything. Hell, he didn't know I wasn't even 18. You were underage? I told you, I did a lot of shit I wasn't proud of. Guy got a little too chatty and Dad caught on. Turns out it's not too conspicuous. When you dye your fur black and dress less, well, and when you dye your fur black and dress as memorable as I do. Dad put it together, and when he got home, already trashed out of his mind, it wasn't long before he started swinging. He didn't even talk? Oh, there was talking, if you consider screaming in my face and yelling at Charlie to go to her room to be talking. Oh my God. Are you okay? Should I stop? I'm okay, really. This is just a lot. Sorry, I shouldn't have dumped this all on you. It isn't fair. No, I'm fine. I mean it. Just keep going, please. I want to hear. You sure? Positive. Alright, eventually I said something to him. Maybe called the guy a faggot. I don't remember, but whatever it was, it pissed him off. Something fierce. I knew I was poking the bear. Dad could get pretty violent, but I usually avoided him when he was wasted. He got a lot more unstable then. But you didn't this time? He kept telling me how much I was disgracing my mom. I couldn't listen to him trying to say he'd be disgusted in who I am. I wasn't thinking clearly. Then he shoved me down, and I thought he was going to start stomping on me. I was used to that. But he didn't. Leigh gripped his pants tightly. I don't hesitate to reach over to place a comforting hand over his own. I expected him to just ignore it or pull away, but he turns his hand around and holds it. The grip isn't tight like you expected. It's soft, with his thumb exploring through every inch of my fur it can reach. I would have thought he was trying to soothe me if I couldn't see how much he's relaxing. Thanks, Wallace. It's why I'm here. To hold my hand, if you need it. His free hand itself into my hair, completely ruining the first 5 minutes I spent in front of his mirror. If it wasn't so good at making me smile, I'd be very annoyed right now. Anyway, I'd gotten so distracted I didn't realize what he'd been holding in his other hand. To be honest, I don't think he knew what it was either. I don't think he was thinking much that night. He just lifted whatever it was and swung it down my leg. It was just a single swing, but it was all he needed. The pain was blinding, and I don't remember much from there. He begins to say something, but hesitates and grips my hand tighter, but I make no effort to pull away, even if it's uncomfortable. He really needs this. I remember hearing Charlie crying and him freaking out, or her freaking out. She sounded scared. They both did. You were scared? Maybe it was because he didn't think he could cover it up, or maybe he did care, or maybe she did care. I don't know, and I don't really care. This didn't make him turn around his life. He just left me alone and drank most nights, but that wasn't any better. There were still days where work was a little too sit, or he drank a little too much. Those days never stopped. Not until we got out of there and never heard from him again. Jesus, you shouldn't use the word in here. Oh, sorry. I didn't think about that. I'm kidding. You think I care about any of that? I've just been smitted for just walking in here. Are you sure you're okay? You're taking everything very well. I told you, kid, this old baggage, it's got a lot of painful memories that still sting, but that's all there are, memories. Did any of this help? But he raised his eyebrow, looking like he has no idea what I'm talking about. But why you came here? Oh, I don't. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I don't think there's an answer for whatever I'm feeling. The old shit is dead, and I still feel over the moon. But I don't. Because you still remember the good times? And I remember how scared he was after he hit me with that hammer. That little bit of guilt in his eyes whenever he saw me limp. It was easier when he was just a piece of shit, but whenever he reminded me of the man I used to know, that's when it hurts. But that's it. There's a billion other stories I could tell you, but you don't need to hear those. Both of us leaned back, and I could hear Leigh let out a second breath, showing me that his dad fed him more than he's letting on. I don't know what to say. I'm not sure what the answer is. Wallace. Huh? Oh, I'm not able to even get a sound out before Leigh pulls me into a hug, a proper hug that presses me against his chest as he rests his chin on my head. And when you're here to answer this, I don't think there is an answer. I just wanted you here with me. I'm not sure I understand. You worry me sometimes. I don't think I would have came here by myself in your company. You worry me sometimes. You worry me sometimes. I don't think I would have came here by myself and your company helped, Wallace. Really, I mean it. It did. I mean, I'm glad it did. I just wish I could do more. This isn't a problem you can just fix. I've had a decade to get over Mom's death, and it got easier. This will too. Charlie will too. Do you think she's mad? Oh, she's furious, but I don't think she's mad at me. Even without the good tonight, even now the. Oh, she's furious, but I don't think she's really mad at me. Even without the good memories, it's complicated. We'd be okay. We always are. We're both quiet after that as we watch people walking in to slowly fill up the seats. I don't really know how much we've been talking, but we must be getting close to surface. Some of the people stare at Leigh's unusual attire, while others give him a familiar wave, one that Leigh returns with a huff that lacks any bite. It doesn't take long for the hall to be bustling with people. The war of conversation fills up the room, so much that we have to shout to talk to each other. Shall we get going? I think it's going to start soon. Why, sorry. I got a little bit distracted. Lost the memories? Yeah. Good ones? Good ones. I might come back here again sometime. Maybe they remember her. Do you want me to come along? I think it would be better if I went alone whenever I do it. Anyway, let's get out of here before it starts. I don't want to get trapped listening to this shit again. Agreed. We sent me through the crowd of people pushing through the door. Many of them look confused as the two of us leave, but no one comments. By the time we're outside, it's like a wave of cool air washes over us. I've forgotten how hot a large mass of people in a single room can be. If my classes got attendance like that, I'd die. Leigh looks to be handling it all much better than I am. If anything, he looks lost staring up at the top of the church, just like he did when we first alive. Leigh looks to be handling it all much better than I am. If anything, he looks lost staring up at the top of the church, just like he did when we first arrived, except there's something different to it now. Something happier. What's wrong? What are you staring at? Nothing, just good memories. Leigh and I walked back in silence, but it wasn't uncomfortable, especially once Leigh's tail kept flicking over to play with my own. He was lost in thought, but he wanted to make sure I was alright. It's not like I could be upset at him. Everything he's dealing with is pretty heavy, but it's still nice to have his attention. I called Lily to ask her where we wanted to meet up, and I wasn't expecting an answer, but it had to have been a convenience place for the two of us, as it was just a small walk away. I offered changing directions and picking up Charlie, but Leigh shot that down. He was really insistent that some place would do a lot of good. I wasn't sure, but he knew her best. Without any diversion, it only takes us a few minutes to arrive at the park. It's strange having been here so many times this week, but it makes sense as a meeting spot. Besides the library, it's one of the few places that we met up multiple times, and besides the library, it's one of the few places that we've met up multiple times. With how doting Leigh and Lily have been on me lately, it makes sense that we're avoiding the library. Without any diversion, it only takes us a few minutes to arrive at the park. It's strange having been here so many times this week, but it makes sense as a meeting spot. Besides the library, it's one of the few places that we've met up multiple times, and with how doting Leigh and Lily have been on me lately, it makes sense that we're avoiding the library. Even if I think it's a little unnecessary, especially since the library would probably be easier on everyone, though I can't deny the personal nostalgia I feel when coming here. It reminds me a lot of the times I went to play baseball with Marcus. There were good memories that I hadn't thought about in years. I've forgotten that I even had good memories from back then. If you told me just a week ago I thought things had been back then, I would have been like Charlie and said they were filled with nothing but bad memories. After all, they were all I could remember. Now things have gotten more and more complicated, and I don't know how I feel. Despite how quickly we got here, we weren't the first one here. Lily sitting on the bench with Oscar leaning over the back of it. Both of them are laughing about something and haven't noticed us approaching. Coach is riding my ass again. I don't get why he's obsessed with how much muscle I have. I mean, it makes sense. You're a little too big. You can't never be too big, right? I mean, it makes sense. You're a little too big. You can never be too big, right? I don't know. Seems like this might be one of those rare cases, but who knows? Well, how long have you guys been standing there? Decided to give us a fight, huh? We only got here a bit ago. You two seem to be in the middle of something, so I didn't want to interrupt. What about Papa Bear? Leigh only gives him a deadpan stare that makes Oscar give a nervous chuckle. Oh, like, Mr. Quiet and mysterious. I'm not mysterious. You don't know about that, man. I don't know about that, man. You got this glowy, don't fuck with me kind of vibe. It's intimidating. Oscar looks at me like he's waiting for me to back him up, and from the looks of the others are giving him, it truly looks like everyone's waiting for my opinion. Well, you agree, right? He's totally trying to be all ears and mysterious. Is he? You've been talking to Charlie. You've been talking to Charlie again, haven't you? I mean, you have to give them a little credit. You do look like you're trying a bit hard. Trying hard. Leigh looked more offended than I've ever seen him before. Even when Lucas insulted him the first day, he didn't look like this much of a kicked puppy. It's not a bad thing, man. You walk it well. I mean, I think you're hot, and I know Wallace does too. Huh? There's no need to be shy. All of us know about your little date. It wasn't. Wait, does Lucas know now? Not entirely. He knows that the two of you went out, but he thinks we're overthinking it. At least one of you knows how to mind your own business. He grumbles, but none of us miss the small smile twisting at the corner of his lips. Oscar especially. Looks like even Leigh's aversion to Oscar can only resist his charm so much. Yeah, you definitely look like you minded. I guess it went well. What went well? Nothing. They were just being stupid. We'll talk about their little date they had last night. Papa Bear took him to a club and everything. I don't get why you call that a date. My roommate takes people to clubs all the time. It isn't anything serious. As much as I like teasing them about it, I think we're being a little unfair. They can tell us when they're ready. Thanks, Lily. I'll tell you about it soon. I promise. So something did happen, huh? Oh, okay. I'll stop. No need to get pensive with my tail. Promise you'll behave. Yes, ma'am. He gives a cartoonish salute to Lily before flashing the rest of us a wink, though he immediately tries pouting again. No one believes him, though I doubt he's trying to fool anyone. So why are we meeting up today? Well, I did want to give Wallace another checkup to see how his date went, but it sounds like it went okay. Leigh rolls his eyes, which sends Oscar into a fit of laughter at Lily's, barely able to contain her own chuckle even I'm trying not to smirk at the teasing now. Despite his staunch defense that it wasn't a date, that doesn't stop him from taking a step closer to me. It was barely an inch, but his close proximity is enough for my face to flush as my smile widens. He's able to keep his composure much better than I am, though his deep red eyes, well, it does. He's able to keep his composure much better than I am, though his deep red tips of his ears is ruining any hopes to hiding anything. Thankfully, no one comments on it as Lily moves on. Okay, should we start? I still don't even know why we're here. Well, I figured that since we're all together, we might as well talk about what Leigh and Wallace learned about Helena. I heard you guys went to a shelter or something. What's with that? I took them to a shelter that Helena and her friend visited. I thought we could find something useful. Did you? Sort of. We got a lot of information. I just don't quite know what it all means. Why don't we go find a picnic table so everyone isn't standing around before we get into this? It sounds like a lot. Thank God. My legs are hurting from all the walking. Why did we come all the way out here anyway? It doesn't take long from us to find an empty picnic table with Leigh guarding us. It's a little cramped, but I'm not complaining to be squished up against Leigh, who made sure I was sitting next to him. Despite wanting to take things slow, that hasn't stopped them from being more touchy than usual. It's nothing too noticeable, and I don't even know if he's conscious doing it. But there's little things like his tail playing with my own, him walking a little too close to me that he usually does, or like right now, where he's got an arm wrapped around my waist. The smart part of my brain knows it's to keep me steady so I don't fall off the side a little bit since we're trying to fit Lucas here as well. But that doesn't stop the heat that rushes through my body as he tugs me against him, especially with a massive grin on Lily and Oscar's face. I'm just glad Lucas can't tell what's going on. I don't think I could handle it. I could handle it if he asked one of his innocuous questions that hit a little too on the nose. So tell us what happened at the shelter. I'm really curious about it. Ever since Leigh mentioned it to me. All eyes stepped over to Leigh, and I considered stepping in, but this is something that's probably best explained by him. I doubt he'd appreciate me telling his life story, especially if he might not want to share. I noticed that one of Helena's friends, Mercedes, had visited a children's shelter. I noticed that one of Helena's friends, Mercedes, had visited a children's shelter nearby. I thought it might be a good idea to check it out, so I took Wallace with me. That doesn't sound particularly fun. Actually, the place was really nice. Miss Corrine was amazing. She's taking care of all these kids, and she really cares. Right, Leigh? Bethany's a wonderful woman. The kids, they'll love her. She's done so much for them. She sounds like a wonderful lady. She is. So what do you find out? We asked her about Mercy, and she told us a lot. Apparently the two of them used to go there together a lot until they had some kind of falling out. Falling out? Yeah, Mercy suddenly started to show up less, and she always come alone. She wasn't talking to the kids as much, and she didn't seem very happy. Helena also came looking for her, though Bethany didn't say why. Sounds like you think she knows why, but she ain't telling. Did Helena find her? Bethany doesn't think so. How long before Helena killed them? A week or two? I can't remember, but it was really close. That definitely sounds like it had something to do with it. Does it though? Friends fight all the time. It doesn't lead to them wanting to murder the other. We don't know this girl outside her diary. How do we know if she wouldn't kill someone for a stupid reason? I don't think she would. Why is that? Helena cared a lot about her. Her diary talked about Mercy a lot. She always mentioned how happy she made her. I can't see her killing anyone, let alone someone she cared about that much. It looks like Lucas wants to argue more, but Oscar gives him a little tab on his cheek with his tail. It's a slight poke that leaves him stunned, mouth agape. It's like a perfectly frozen screenshot that had the two of us staring at them. We expected Lucas to lash out and yell many things at the author, but he's just getting flustered. Well, two of us look surprised. Lily looks mighty satisfied with herself, and I know I have to interrogate her later. Either way, it's certainly strange. I don't want to think that a fight could cause this much damage, but it's so close to an incident, it's hard to imagine it's nothing. Well, if she came looking for her, it was either pretty serious or Helena messed up. Helena messed up? Yeah. I mean, if she was hunting her down, there's two things it probably means. Either Mercy really pissed her off or she wanted to apologize. I get it. Maybe Mercy confided something in Helena and she overreacted, causing Mercy to get upset about her and try to avoid her. But what could Mercy have told her that would make Helena react so negatively? It doesn't have to be negative, huh? I said she didn't need to be I said she didn't need to react negative. It doesn't have to be negative. Huh? Huh? I said she didn't need to react negative. Maybe she didn't react at all. Sometimes no response hurts more than a negative one. Oh, I see. Because a negative response means they care enough to be upset, but a lack of response can only mean one thing, that they didn't care. But that still leads us back to the same question. Why didn't Mercy tell her to make Helena react so negative? It might be written in the diary. Maybe we should read ahead and see what we can find. No, I don't think that's a good idea. Why not? I don't see the harm of it. It's just a book, after all. It doesn't matter. It's clearly not been doing Wallace any favors. He's been having nightmares because of it, let alone whatever the fuck happened on Thursday. I don't want him reading it. Did you have another nightmare? We don't even know if this is what happened. Maybe Mercedes was feeling guilty and that's why she avoided Helena. Feeling guilty? That makes more sense, doesn't it? Helena could have just messaged her to say sorry, not visiting her in person. Helena was hunting her down. Now she blocked her number or hadn't been returning her calls and messages. I know, girls, we can be pretty. Now, not if she blocked her number or hadn't been returning her calls and messages. I know, girls, we can be petty and stubborn when we get hurt, especially by those we care about. The diary will probably reveal that too. I'm just saying. No, I agree with Leigh. It's probably for the best that we take a break from it. All of us. This is a heavy topic and it's clear that it might be getting to us, even if you're confident it isn't. Okay. If you guys think it'll help Wallace out, I ain't gonna say no. Lucas has been quiet ever since we started talking about why Mercy might be avoiding Helena. I can't tell if it's because this topic upsets him or if he's just trying to figure it out. Without looking into the diary, there isn't a whole lot we can really do, but yes, she might have done something or maybe. Without looking into the diary, there isn't a whole lot we can really do, but yes, she might have done something or maybe she didn't. We don't really know. So I give it to someone else to read then? I don't think that's a whole lot better, if we're being honest. A break from it might be good. We don't need a diary anyway. There's plenty of other ways we can learn about them. Like what? Well, did anyone else find anything? I know you guys were looking into stuff too before, I didn't find anything. I thought I had something, but I decided not to follow up on it. It doesn't feel like he's lying, but it doesn't sound like he's entirely telling the truth, but no one wants to push him on it. It sounds personal. I tried looking into Conrad, except there ain't much on him. He was on the football team, but man, it doesn't seem like he's close. Why do you think? I tried talking to him. They didn't seem too fond of him though. I didn't get to talk to them long. Why not? Practice started soon, I don't think they wanted me around. Some of the guys didn't like me snooping around. Well, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, they just didn't want to get too distracted. Ain't nothing serious. I guess there's nothing else to really go off of then. Well, there might be something. What's that? Did you find something else from your visit to the shelter? Well, maybe, but it was actually from what happened to us on Thursday. You mean a hallucination? I still think it was a drug fever dream. I don't. Leigh stays quiet, but from the way he focuses drifts away from the conversation, I can tell he's doubting that it was just nothing as well. How could it be? Though I doubt he admitted it was anything serious. Don't worry about the details, man. Just let us know what you found. Well, while we were exploring around in the hospital, I found this page of the diary, so I decided to see if I could find it in the diary, and I did. What did it say? Well, it went over a few things, but but the important parts were that it. What did it say? Well, it went over a few things, but the most important parts were that it seems like Mercy started to get upset before her falling out with Helena. I don't know. I don't really know what it means though. Maybe nothing big did happen then. Mercy just Mercy might have just drifted away without telling her, and that Helena confused and worried. But they were so close. There's no way she just abandoned her out of nowhere. The way Helena talks about Mercy in the diary, it's like they're sisters. That doesn't mean people can't fuck up and hurt people close to them. There's no way. That's enough of that. We're just tossing around ideas and it's getting us nowhere. Well, I think guessing isn't a particularly bad thing, but you're probably right. I don't think we're getting any further than the information we got. Wallace did forget to mention one last thing, huh? Mercy seemed to have a strong dislike for Conrad, though we might know why. Bethany confirmed this when we talked to her. She also confirms, well, she also mentioned she was certain Mercedes didn't mean to hurt Helena. She thought Mercedes did do something, but it wasn't meant to hurt her. Interesting. Do we know why Mercy didn't like Conrad? Also lets out a loud chuckle that brings all of our attention to him, but he just waves us off with a massive smirk on his face. Don't mind me. It was a silly thought. Don't worry about it. Why did I get the feeling you're hiding something? Nah, it's nothing serious. Whatever. Oh, come on, don't be like that. It's just a little bit of fun. Also tries reaching over to mess with Lucas, but it just leads to the two of them playing a game of cat and mouse where Arthur tries to tease him while Lucas just bats him away, leaving the rest of us to carry on. Well, we don't really know why Mercy doesn't like combat yet, but it seemed to be something from pretty early on. Lena writes about it in a few times. Any clue why? No, I don't think so. Who I read, Helena has no idea why. They just don't seem to like each other. Sounds like you two are making good progress. I knew you could do it. It's nothing too special. We're just testing things out. That's how you start something truly special. Honestly, I'd be a little more worried if you two were rushing into things. Neither of you are particularly spontaneous. Then again, maybe I need to reevaluate Leigh again. Sounds like he might be more of a wild one than I thought. I'll definitely have to convince him to take me out to a club one night. It was something I never thought I'd do. But did you enjoy it? Yeah, a lot actually. I think I want to do it again. It was so different from what I've been used to. Careful, you're beginning to sound like one of those girls who falls for the mafia bad boy. Next thing you know, you're going to be signing up for fight clubs to save your man. What? I'm kidding. Don't look so scared. Honestly, I think it's good for you. You're experiencing more in it, and isn't that what college is all about? Yeah, I was a little scared at first, but it ended up being a lot of fun. Yeah, it sounded like you two had a lot of fun, alright? Sounds like he couldn't keep his hands off you. I wish you tell me why. I don't think Leigh would appreciate that. It was kind of personal. No, I get it. Don't get me wrong, just a little curious. You know what I mean? I get it. I know you don't mean anything bad by it. I appreciate it, really. Actually, there's something I want to tell you about. What is it? Well, I had another nightmare last night. There was a moment of silence between us as a weight of what I'm suggesting hangs between us, but she doesn't leave it for too long before she lays a reassuring hand on my arm. It's okay, you can talk to me about it. Was it like the others, like the hospital? Kinda like it wasn't really like the others, but it felt like it. I couldn't control myself. It was like someone else was using my body. That kind of just sounds like a regular dream, isn't it? We don't usually control how we are while we are sleeping. I suppose, but it felt different than that. I look ahead to make sure none of the others can hear us, but they're all distracted amongst themselves. Oscar's finally giving Lucas a break and has set his eyes on Leigh, constantly speaking to him in a low voice that I can't hear. But from the way Leigh's face heats up and the agitation I can make out from his own hushed whispers, it isn't hard to guess that Oscar's interrogating him about. It probably wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't for Lucas's own curiosity. It makes sense he's probably one who's been left the most out of what's been happening the last few days. He's got a lot of catch up on. It felt like a usual dream, but at the same time, it didn't. It's strange. What happened in it? I woke up in a house I've never been in before, but it felt nostalgic, just not to me. Are you sure you've never been there before? I'm positive. I explored around, but the details of everything was blurry. It was like I couldn't make anything out. Eventually, I got to the second floor and I came across something I saw when I was exploring the hospital with Leigh. After that, I woke up. Nothing else? Not really. It was a pretty short one, but it just felt surreal. Are you doing okay? I know your nightmares have been intense. I'm fine, it wasn't that bad. It's just a little unsettling, I guess. But I'm more curious what it means more than anything else. You still think there's something going on? I think it must mean something, right? If you admit it, it didn't seem like just nothing. I know I said that, but I still think you're overthinking it. Just don't just don't stress yourself over it. You might be making the nightmares worse. Leigh said something similar. Maybe you should give listening to him a try. He gets it right sometimes, even if he has a bad habit of sticking his head in the ground. Both of us glanced over at Leigh to make sure he didn't hear that, but it looks like still being he's still being harassed by Oscar, though calling it that is unfair. Both of us glanced over at Leigh to make sure he didn't hear that, but it looks like he's still being harassed by Oscar, though calling it that is unfair. He might look annoyed, but I can tell he's enjoying himself. Wow, you're so smooth. Oh boy. Wow, you're so smitten. It's adorable. That bad, huh? You're staring at him, all lovey-dovey. Maybe that's enough of this topic for now, then. But there's one thing I wanted to ask you all, Wallace. Huh? It's just an offer, but if your nightmares are getting too bad, or if you just don't feel comfortable sleeping in your own place alone, you can always come crash at my place. We have a lot of space, and I told you before, but I doubt Dad would mind. We have a spare guest room if you wanted to bring Leigh along too. What? The outburst has caught the attention of the others, but there isn't much concern as my brightly flushed face makes it clear there isn't anything in danger except my dignity, though the plotting smirk on Alice's face doesn't help. There's no way your dad would be okay with Leigh and I staying over there together, especially in the same bed. Hey, I have you know my dad is really accepting and wouldn't care as long as neither of you were hooking up with me. To be honest, he'd probably be more comfortable with you two making out than if you were staying apart. 2 months? Well, don't worry about it. It's only if things get a little too much. And like I said, you can stay over alone. Leigh doesn't have to come. I was just teasing. Thanks, it means a lot. And sorry, I was being a little silly there. Don't worry, it's very cute. Though we might have the conversation short. It looks like Leigh and Oscar might get into a fight. Sure enough, Oscar's poking Leigh's buttons a little too much. And it looks like he's about to chew Oscar out. It's unlikely to get anywhere serious. Even Lucas doesn't look too concerned. We've gotten so used to this that even Lucas isn't nervous about it anymore. I don't know if that's great or mildly troubling. Let's stop right here. So they discuss more about Helena and the fact that I think Helena, or was it the other friend Mercy, or but anyway, I, I got a little back, I got one of the names mixed up. But anyway, one of the girls just didn't come as much to the orphanage, and they were kind of upset, and so that's a troubling sign of something wrong. So I don't know if this will lead to the same result. Like because if you watch the most recent Oscar video I did, we got some answers on why Helena, on why I mean Conrad, on why Conrad acted the way he was, like why he wasn't all that interested in Helena. So I wonder if that would be this end up being the same reason in Leigh's route for why Conrad wouldn't really be all that close to Helena. But if they do decide to go with the same revelations, if you found out in Oscar's route, then if you watch Oscar's route, then you already know what the reason Conrad was so standoffish from Helena is. But I don't know, this lead route here there'll be a different reason for Conrad not dealing with Helena that much or what, but I think it should be the same reason. I think all these updates, I think all of the three routes will come to the same conclusion about Conrad. Okay, so we got to see Lily and Wallace talk about the mystery, and as well as Wallace and Leigh, being in her father's house. Her father's pretty overprotective, so I'm kind of worried about also going over her house because overprotective fathers, they are quick to make accusations to you if they think, just because you're a boy, they gotta think you're trying to fool around with their daughter. So I don't know. Maybe it'd be a better idea if he brought Leigh with him. That way, at least the father would know that both of them are gay. So maybe the father will lay off a little bit on them. All right, so we'll continue with Leigh's route next time. Thank you all very much for watching. Goodbye.